What's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at the Ripple XRP price chart. I'm going to be trying to tie a lot of things in. If you've been following my channel, I've been trying to build the case that I believe there's one more big push up that comes in the cryptocurrency market before we slip into a longer period of bear or consolidation or whatever, but that the exciting time period is still ahead of us. I've been trying to take a bigger zoomed out view over the last couple of weeks to kind of show you a lot of the things going on in the market to build that case. When we're looking at short-term time frames, it's hard to understand that. When you're living in the moment of short-term time frames, you feel a lot more of the pain or the euphoria. But one of the things that we've been talking about a lot on this channel is this setup that we've seen over here on the total market cap. And I'm going to show you something here that's going to probably leave you scratching your head a little bit. But if you've been following this channel, I've been talking a lot about this. You are undoubtedly, it's been engraved in your head at this point. The rally prior to capitulation, given a 4.236 fib extension over there to the top. And I'm going to come back to this here in a minute, but I want to show you something else going on in the cryptocurrency market as we work our way through this video. And regardless of whatever coins that you hold out there, there's a certain group of people in this community or in the cryptocurrency community that are probably sitting there just beating their head against the wall, and that's going to be the people who are holders of Cardano. Cardano had an insane run this year, running all the way from about 1.9 cents, 1.7 cents, and then in just less than a year, it ran all the way up to $1.51. Massive gains, but ever since then, it's really been stuck right here. And it's just like, what is that? What is going on there? Why were we going up so fast and then suddenly we just stop and go completely flat and sideways? Now, I am a holder of Cardano or a holder of ADA, but I have sold off 65% of my ADA because it matched my exit plan for ADA, in which the rally prior to capitulation right in here ran it all the way up. By the time we got there, I sold off 65%. But there's no doubt what's happening up in here is very different than what's going on in the rest of the market. And then suddenly something this morning clicked with me of what's happening here with ADA. Here we are going on almost 6 months stuck in this price range. And anybody who was here in the 2017 bull run, well, we didn't have very many options of what coins we could purchase over on Coinbase. You really only had like 3. You had Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. So Litecoin was this huge cryptocurrency in the cryptocurrency market in 2017. Even though it hasn't been that popular right now, it always holds a special place in my heart because of how important it was in 2017. But we had something very similar happen with Litecoin in 2017, and anybody who is here will tell you this and probably have very good memories of it. But it always felt like Litecoin was $50. It just was always there. Anytime it would go way below it, down into the 30s, it would come back to the 50s. Anytime it would go up to the 90s, it would come back to the 50s, and just always stayed there at like $50 to $55. And this went on for what felt like most of the year. And for Litecoin, that was back in this time frame back in here, running from June all the way to November, always kind of hovering there at that $50 price point. But as you guys know, I keep bringing this up, right? I keep bringing this rally prior to capitulation, 4.236 extension gives this big first huge knockback. That's what we saw happen over here on Litecoin. Here's the rally prior to capitulation. Here's the full extension. And with pinpoint precision, it completely nails it right there on the top and then pulls all the way back down, consolidating in that price area and then heading on up. But if you notice something about Litecoin over here and where all that consolidation really took place right over there, it's right over there near that all-time high. And well, where is Cardano doing it? It's doing it all right there near the all-time high. Not necessarily staying on top of the all-time high, which we can see right here. It's really coming below it, down in here. But so was Litecoin, all hanging out right in here most of the time. And when I put these on top of each other, you can see even more of the similarities of what has happened here, really fighting up here against this all-time high for so long, then finally trying to make its first exit, but really getting pushed way back down, which is the exact same thing that happened for Litecoin at this time, pushing its way up and then boom, getting pushed way back down again. And when we just kind of lay some Fibonacci's down here on top of Litecoin and see the price point at which it got pushed back down to, you could see it came back down to just below the 702 as its big push down right here for Litecoin after it attempted to make its first real big exit, really getting jammed right back down there to the 702 to the 618 right down in this area, which, as crazy as it may seem, is exactly what just happened to ADA or Cardano. First attempt to try to make its way out, gets jammed right back down to that 702 to 618 area right back in here before continuing that sideways consolidation in here, just as Litecoin did. But what makes this so interesting about Litecoin is obviously we've been talking about this rally prior to capitulation for over a year at this point, that being that pinpoint number to hit and then pulling back. And then eventually there's that one big final surge in the market that kind of wraps up the remainder of the cryptocurrency bull run. And we're noticing that Cardano is showing insane similarities of that happening right in here, right back at its all time high, doing the same thing with the first attempt to break out with a big pullback at the same spot. And that's the same thing we're seeing happening over here on the total market cap. So whether you tune in just for XRP content or you like my Bitcoin videos, whatever it is that you like, I like to look around the entire market to try to find things to continue building the case or to dispel any type of case. But Cardano shows exactly, precisely what was happening to Litecoin back in 2017 at the all-time highs with this exact same phenomena happening right here. And that even ADA is showing it on its chart, that exact moment in time, just like in 2017, the exact same phenomenon happening. And for that, it reinforces my bullish optimism that I have to see the exact same thing happening over here on ADA as we had happen in 2017 with Litecoin, with the exact same type of setup that we have over there on the total market cap of crypto, with the rally prior to capitulating in 2018 leading to the 4.236 extension. And so for ADA holders out there, I would say there's probably some optimism out there. And if it did repeat something like that you see over there on Litecoin, and I'm not predicting that it will, but if it did a similar move to what you see there with Litecoin, that would put ADA at about $10. But I mentioned at the beginning of this video, we would tie in XRP, right? How does ADA and Litecoin and all that stuff tie into XRP? The reality of it is that when the altcoin market tends to go, everything has a tendency to go with it. Especially at the end of cycles for XRP, it has a tendency to go. This was the end of cycle run for Litecoin, for the end of the Bitcoin bull run, the end of the Litecoin bull run, and then we went off into a long, prolonged bear market. One would have to assume if this happens with ADA and if the price does jam way up in here, now what do you expect would happen? Well, if it's been following this up until this point, one would have to expect it would be this super long bear market coming for ADA afterwards. But one thing to also understand about the cryptocurrency market is that when the end of cycle comes, at least from what we've seen in previous cycles, is that not every altcoin runs at the same time, and there are some that lead the way. And in 2017, Litecoin was one of the first coins to top out. It topped out in early to mid December of 2017, whereas XRP didn't top out until January 4th of 2018. And what's really interesting about XRP and Litecoin at that time is that you could see right down in here, I've got my mouse right here over Litecoin. You can see where the top came in for Litecoin right in here on this date, December 12th, December 13th. If we look at what happened with XRP, is that XRP did not take off until that moment. You can see how here on the top, we've got the dotted line running up and down there for December 11th for XRP for when it took off. You can see the dotted line over there on Litecoin on the bottom there showing that the top of Litecoin came in. And it was once Litecoin took off and hit its top that XRP was able to start surging and that there was a big rotation that happened there. I'll put some lines down here on the screen so we can see that and we can move on to other dates as well. But we can see there on December 12th right there, that's where the top of Litecoin came in for this big power move. And that's exactly where XRP broke out, which was still underneath its all-time high. And it ran from 24 cents to $3.30. And notice that the top of XRP did not come in till way over here on January 4th. Meanwhile, Litecoin had already begun its bear market at that time. And if we see something similar happen with Cardano or ADA, where it's one of the first ones to go, whereas this setup for Litecoin in 2017 made it one of the first ones to go, is that would be really optimistic for the rest of the market. Because when the end of cycle does start showing itself and all the rotations are happening, there's going to be leaders and there's going to be laggards. And while it's 100% speculation, we know that the Cardano people and the XRP people don't necessarily hate each other. There's not too much strife between those two communities. I know that a lot of people in the XRP community respect Charles Hoskinson. A lot of people in the XRP community also hold ADA as well. And I'm curious if we would see some type of same phenomenon between these two different assets. Because one thing we do know is that when the SEC lawsuit happened and when a lot of people were really scared of XRP at that time, what's the asset they all ran to? They ran to Cardano. And if you weren't here during that time, all you had to do was be on social media for that month after the SEC lawsuit was filed. And it was just everybody talking about Cardano within the XRP community. And so I'm curious if there's going to be some type of inverse correlation that happens here if Cardano tops out. And that's more of our marking sign this year for something like that. Now, a lot of people don't like that type of idea, right? They want to hear the idea of, utility driving it and kicking it in. But the reality is the cryptocurrency market has just worked how the cryptocurrency market has worked, how it's always worked, really, that if Bitcoin's moving up, the altcoins are moving up, there's rotations. It's just working like it usually does. And then, at the same time, you have a lot of people who are arguing that, XRP needs to have utility, which needs to be influenced by Ripple, but then at the same time, they're saying it's not a security because it's tied to the cryptocurrency market. I think there's a lot of mixed messaging that goes on within people's heads. But the reality is, this is a reality, is that XRP is not a security. And XRP's price is usually 99.9% of the time, influenced by what's happening in the rest of the cryptocurrency market. And to want the price to be influenced by Ripple pushes that more towards that security idea. So I am a true believer that XRP is a digital asset and it operates within the cryptocurrency ecosystem and is influenced by whatever. All boats rise, right? We've all heard that all boats rise together. And I believe XRP is one of those boats that rises with the rest. And so one thing I could imagine happening here is that if ADA continues to play out just like this, and ADA is one of those first ones to take off, what will the messaging be like on Twitter? What will the retail investor sentiment be like on Twitter? It's what it always is, right? Oh my gosh, get into ADA. It's not too late. Yay, it's super exciting. Look at all these gains I'm making. You can make these gains too if you join in. But the reality is, a lot of us feel jealousy, right? You feel that deep in your soul. You're like, oh my gosh, look at these people making all this money and I'm stuck in this dingus asset that's not doing anything. Why can't I chase that one? Why couldn't I be in that one? You know what? I'm going to give up on this dingus coin and I'm going to go get into the one that's surging and be a part of the party with everybody else. But I know better. I know better than to do that. I see all the coins that are shilled throughout the XRP community. Some of them are up over 10,000% in the last year, and people in the XRP community are screaming it's not too late. Look, if it's up over 10,000% in the last year, it's too late, okay? But if Cardano does take off, that is such a fantastic sign for the rest of the cryptocurrency market. We want a leader. We want someone to pave the way. We want the sign to show up that it's time to get moving. And so if we see ADA taking off, it's not something where I'm going to sit there and say, dang, why did I sell 65%? It was such a terrible move for me to have done. I wish I didn't do that. I'm going to be looking at that from the light of, oh my goodness, here we go. This is just like what happened in 2017 with Litecoin. This is exactly what happened and led into the XRP surge at the end of the year from 24 cents to $3.30. Buckle up. And so as we sit here and wait and we see these incredible similarities of what's happening in the market with ADA compared to all the things we've been talking about with the total market cap and the extensions to the 4.236, using Litecoin as a reference to show how that has happened before and showing exactly how many similarities there are. Once again, there's another check mark. There's another point in the speculative column of there's still this big push left right there in the cryptocurrency market that we're all waiting for. So there you go. I hope that you guys like that. I had fun making that video and I had fun discovering that and really doing those measurements. If you want to sit there and kind of compare what Litecoin did in 2017 to Cardano here in 2021, all those fib extensions where it reached out to the 1.618 fib extension and falls back down to the 0.702. It's unbelievable. Both of them did the exact same thing. It's incredible. But I hope you enjoyed that. I hope kind of, adding that to the whole picture on why my belief system is the way that it is. There's some more reinforcement to it. I hope you liked it. Otherwise, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like, you can check out my course over here on bcbacker.com. This is my course where I deep dive into the previous Bitcoin bull runs and the different altcoin market cycles, tying them all together to show how the previous Bitcoin bull runs and their extensions and the alt seasons have worked in the past. I talk about mathematics and percentages and teach you how to set up your own charts and your own indicators within TradingView and CoinTrader Pro. I did also mention that I added an update over here just a couple of days ago for July 31st, the market update. Bitcoin price pushes back up, altcoin market tags along, strong finish. This is available to anybody enrolled in the course and anybody who newly enrolls in the course, and you can check that out over there at bcbacker.com. You can follow me over here on Twitter at bcbacker. backer, and I want to thank you guys so much for watching my channel. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick me up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.